All right, so recently a lot of baseball outlets putting out their quarter of a century team, which is pretty much just the best player at each position in the last 25 years. I ignored it for a little while, but it keeps coming up, former players doing the same, so I decided I'll make my own. So here we go. So starting in left field, I'm gonna go with Barry Bonds. This is an easy one for me. I know a lot of people hate the steroid situation and all that, which I understand, but at the end of the day, if I was drafting a player today in all-time baseball history, starting with hitters, I'm probably gonna go Bonds, and if I didn't, I'd be very jealous of the person who did. He was already going to be a Hall of Famer before the steroids, not that that helps his case, but nonetheless. National voting had him as the number one pick in left field anyway, with Manny Ramirez second, Juan Soto third. I'm good with that list, not a big Soto guy right now, but either way, we'll move on. Center field, this was interesting. National numbers had Trout at 1, Beltran at 2, and Andrew Jones at 3. For me, clearly, I'm going to go with Ken Griffey Jr. Not sure why he wasn't listed. He wasn't in the top 3. They do list the top 10. He wasn't in any of the top 10s for any of the outfield positions. Not sure what's going on there, but he's the clear pick for center field for me. I'm not even going to go into it. I think a lot of people would agree. Moving on, right field. National voting goes to Ichiro. I'm going to go Aaron Judge. Not just a Yankee bias. I do think that Judge's overall performance, not just this year, but in the previous couple years, has been enough for me to at least want him there starting in right. I'm all for Ichiro. Not going to argue if you went there. Mookie Betts came in third, just to note. Heading to the infield, starting at third, I'm going to stick with the Yankee trend and go A-Rod. Another steroid user, I'm aware, but his career can't be ignored. He was once considered one of the best players of all time, but looking at stats alone, he's clearly deserving. Coupled with an amazing World Series run back in 2009, Adrian Beltre led the votes here, which is my second pick overall for third base. Chipper Jones coming in third. Not even going to fight that either. All deserving players, fine with any of those. Continuing the Yankee trend, I'm going to go Derek Jeter at shortstop, not just because I'm a Yankees fan and he is my all-time favorite player, but clearly Derek Jeter is well-deserving. Lindor coming in second in votes, followed by Jimmy Rollins at third. A little unsure on Lindor at 2 there, but realistically, it's fine. He has the stats to back it. Not going to get further into that as we move along to second base. Here is where my Yankee trend falls off, sadly, because Altuve gets my vote, unfortunately. I know that half my list so far is kind of split between the cleanest of clean and the dirtiest of dirty, with Bonds, A-Rod, and Altuve, and Jeter, Griffey, and Judge. But either way, Altuve is deserving. He has the stats, he has the championships. It's annoying. Utley at second, Cano at third for voting there. Cano would be the guy I want, but Altuve's just had a better career, and I can't lie about it. So unfortunately, I got to go with the Astro. Very, very begrudgingly. Going to first base. For me, and for the voters, Albert Pujols. Now, Miguel Cabrera came in second here, followed by Freddie Freeman. Both really deserving. This one was really tough for me. Miguel Cabrera, triple crown year, coupled with an entire career overall anyway, made this very interesting. Freeman obviously close as well. I'm going to stick with Pujols. He's one of my favorite players of all time and an amazing hitter. Not a lot of people can argue that. Clearly, he got the votes anyway. Looking at catcher, this one came out super close, but surprising to me, Buster Posey took the votes when I went with Yadier Molina, which seemed to be the obvious pick. Joe Mauer coming in third there. Posey and Molina were fractions off on voting. You really could go either way. I just think that Molina's kind of more the presumptuous pick, and he's the guy I would go with. Nothing against Posey. I'm just going to go with Yadi. And then at DH, my pick and everyone's pick, Ohtani. I know he's not perceived as a DH type player, but it's kind of the leftovers of the outfield. David Ortiz coming in second in voting, clearly deserving. He's only kind of been seen as a DH all time. And Jim Thome coming in third. No hate against Ortiz for the Red Sox stuff. Manny Ramirez came in second in left field behind Barry Bonds. No hate against him. He's actually one of my favorite players of all time. So this isn't a Boston bias. It's just hard to pick against Ohtani anytime you have him on the list. Not going to go too deep into the pitching, but just so you know, 1 through 5 from the voters became Verlander, Kershaw, Randy Johnson, Scherzer, and Pedro Martinez. I'm okay with that list. A little out of order. I think Pedro should be higher, but nonetheless, I'm good with it. And then the guy leading all relievers, obviously Mariano Rivera, the man, the best closer of all time. And it's the perfect way to end this thing with the Yankee legend.